Great exciting news to start your Sunday afternoon as the president's fear of a $2,000 stimulus check for children causes pandemonium in the House and the Senate and suddenly gets people on point and on board to do $2,000 stimulus check for adults and $600 for children. It's that fear of going higher that got people to the center. And in this incredible great recording of Afternoons LALATE, I have the breaking details with the not one but four people from both sides of the political spectrum that spoke out minutes ago and said, we need to get this done. Getting it done is by amendment on Tuesday. I have all the exciting great details for you. It's unfolding very quickly, and ultimately the fear of going higher, the fear of more demands, the fear of blowing up the bill and making it bigger is getting people to do a deal at the right amount and right now. It's all really exciting, great news. I'm so glad you joined me in a jaw-dropping great afternoon report of Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Afternoons LALATE. I'm so glad you joined me on a big day. I mean, it is just great news. Great news as the push for $2,000 stimulus checks for adults, $600 for children, could be getting to the finish line as a threat of going higher made people really worried. And getting people worried gets people to the finish line and getting a deal done. If you've not subscribed, please do. This is now a 24-hour news channel, the only one out there. 12 shows a day from 1 a.m. to 1 a.m., covering everything from state stimulus, rent stimulus, third stimulus, and of course, this stimulus, federal stimulus. Right after this is purple. Then I'll go over state stimulus, rent, utilities, and food you can get around the clock. Get it right now. Then I'll turn to third stimulus. That's SSI and SSDI, the $2,400. The MSC, the hazard pay. That's third stimulus check right after purple. And then I'm back live with Bean and Mitch answer your questions about unemployment. So please subscribe because no one's trying to get you this money around the clock. And I have details and updates faster than anyone anywhere around the world. Also, like this video. In this video, I'll go over what happened minutes ago, what happened earlier today, what happened last night, and why things have changed so quickly and so much for the positive. It's all breaking developments. And with that, let's not wait a minute. Let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here today is that Toomey, Sanders, Kissinger, and then others, including Baumann and Bush, spoke out this morning about the stimulus offers of the president last night. Let me recap what the president's demands have been. On Tuesday, the president said, I don't like a stimulus check offer in this bill of $600 for adults. I wanted $2,000. Then we presumed he was saying $2,000 for adults, $600 for children, and keeping the family as family of four. Married couple, $2,000, $600, $600 for two kids, or single parent, $2,000 and then $600, $600, $600. But last night he sent out a tweet which caused pandemonium. The tweet said, no, I want the children to get $2,000 as well. That means it would be $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, an $8,000 stimulus check for a household. Never going to happen. Never going to ever happen. First, it has a lot of problems to it. First of all, no one has ever heard of a $2,000 stimulus check for a child. We've heard $500, $600. $600 is actually the highest amount we've heard since March of this year. We've never heard of anything even above $1,000 above $600 for a child's check. Second, it absolutely balloons the stimulus package because $300 is what a $1,200 stimulus check for a family of four would be with a children of $500. Well, guess what you do when you go to $2,000 a couple, a family of four? That means the bill just on the stimulus check part goes upwards of $900 billion from $300 billion. It's out of control. It never would pass. It would implode the entire second stimulus check bill. You would never see a bill. Well, the good news, it was just a fear factor. Fear Factor, sort of like that reality TV show. We used to, you know what I'm talking about. So apparently it worked. It worked because now Republicans and Democrats say, wait a second, why are we going higher? We can't go higher. We'll do what you said on Tuesday. Calm it down, Mr. President. We're not going any higher. We'll do $2,000 for adults and $600 for children. And this is how we'll do it. We'll do it by amendment, and we'll introduce it to the Senate, to the House, and then the Senate. More about that in a second in this video. I'll explain procedurally how this will happen on Tuesday. It's all really great news. But the president sent out the tweet to ostensibly fear people into thinking he's going to keep on going higher if they don't make a deal with him. In essence, it worked. Yesterday, the day before, on Saturday, he had worked both sides of the political spectrum, and he had basically lined up the Senate Republicans to agree to $2,000 for an adult and $600 for children, presuming that if they voted for $600 before for everyone, they'll also vote for $2,000. He doesn't need to get more votes. He doesn't need to get a unanimous vote. He just needs to get the same people who voted for him last time in the Senate, who are Republicans, to vote again this time with a stimulus check of $2,000. And he enlisted Lindsey Graham, one of the leading Republicans of the Senate, to get it done. This is all great news. So then why did he say $2,000 for a stimulus check for children yesterday? It was just basically get people talking and get people moving to the finish line. And it worked. This is what Toomey, Republican out of the Senate, said this morning on Fox Sunday News. You don't get everything you want, even if you're the President of the United States. It's sort of ironic that Toomey said this, because last Sunday this time, a week ago this time, Toomey had a language in the bill that he said, either my way or the highway, I'm not taking it out, or the deal is dead. So it's just a little ironic. He says, you don't get to have everything you want. Well, Toomey got everything he wanted last weekend. I understand he wants to be remembered for advocating for big checks, but the danger is he'll be remembered for chaos and misery and erratic behavior if this is allowed to expire. Why would we be sending $2,000 to people with a six-figure income who had no suspension, no reduction in their income at all? This money isn't sitting on a shelf. We're not going to print it or we're going to borrow it. And then we're going to have that aid is much more targeted. It should be targeted to people who actually lost their jobs. Well, that's the point. 4-year-old kids have not lost their jobs to get a $2,000 stimulus check. A 5-year-old kid has never worked a day in his life, so why is he getting a $2,000 stimulus check? Doesn't make sense. It does not. Bernie Sanders, the independent out of Vermont, had this comment as well. Sign the bill, Mr. President, and then immediately Monday, Tuesday, we can pass a $2,000 stimulus check to the working families of this country, he said on ABC this morning. This is great news, basically saying, I love the bill, just we will do $2,000, we promise. And he, of course, did not say $2,000 for children. This, again, is repeating $2,000 for working families. 4-year-old kids don't get $2,000 stimulus checks. Kissinger, who's a Republican out of Illinois, he appeared on CNN this morning. He says, because right now we're at the point where we're left out in the dark. But to play this old switcheroo game, which is kind of like, I don't get to the point. I don't understand what's being done unless it's to create chaos and show power and be upset. Otherwise, I don't understand it because it has to get done. Too many people are relying on this. Amen. And then Bauman and Bush, who are Democrats out of Missouri and New York, said the $600 stimulus check is, quote, a slap in the face and crumbs. But they said they would not go to the mat to do $2,000 stimulus check for children. The president is the embodiment of what's going wrong. You need to get this done right now. And there you go. And with that, that's the focus, to get this done right now. And so how will it get done right now? Now at the 10-minute mark, I'm going to go over how this will be teed up on Tuesday. Then at the 15-minute mark, I'm going to go over your unemployment benefits and how you need to be prepared for the impact of those. But between that and then, I'm going to go over the incredible deal provisions and the free broadband you get under the second stimulus package and the money for the cows and the ranchers. All right, so how would you get this money? When would you get the money? What do you have to do and who would get it? First, the stimulus check, if it's passed on Tuesday, I'll explain procedurally how it would get passed on Tuesday, would mean that you would get the check 10 days from Tuesday. If you sign up for electronic receipt for SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, 10 days. If you sign up for paper check, another week after that. If you pay the IRS your taxes electronically, also 10 days. All great news. Who's going to get the check? Single individuals, married couples, inmates would get a check. The check would not be taken out for child support. The check would not be taken out for debt collections, and the check would not be taken out for past taxes owed. Then, if there is a family of four, a family of three, the check would come to the head of the household for the entire family. So how would this get passed on Tuesday or Monday? This is how it's going to work. It's going to start as a one-page document, what's called an amendment. And the amendment will be passed in this House. Nancy Pelosi's amendment would look something like, we're changing the line $600 to $2,000 for adults. Go to a vote, pass in the morning in the House. Later that afternoon, about 2 hours later, it lands in the Senate. Put for a vote. At that point, presumably, all the Republicans who voted in favor of $600 would vote in favor of $2,000, and we would be done. Then it would go to the president's table later that evening, and it would be signed. Finished. Done. All really great news. Now, is the federal government shutting down? Yes, it's shutting down Tuesdays. Does this impact your benefits like Social Security checks? No. If this goes on longer than Tuesday, does it impact your benefits? No, it doesn't impact your benefits. It takes like a month of a shutdown for you to impact your benefits. So then what about the other provisions in this bill? They're great. First, your PUA and UI would be reactivated and be active all the way to March 14th. How that works in a second, I'll go over. It will also provide FPUC for $300 a week all the way to March 14th. Next, it would provide money for small businesses in a new round of PPP, that forgivable loan that turns into a grant, and then EIDL grants for small income minority-owned businesses in the inner city. SNAP would be one of the fastest things you would get. There would be a 15% increase in SNAP right away. It would not increase the eligibility of SNAP, but just pay it right away. Then childcare, broadband, and rent are three things for low-income families. Low-income families are generally individuals who make $49,000 a year, 2019 earnings. What are the items? First, free rent and utilities. Second, childcare, free childcare. And finally, free internet or broadband, as you would say. Internet or broadband, it's an interchangeable word. That would be also included for people in the rural areas. Finally, the farmers would get a stimulus check as well. It's unclear whether it's going to come as an EIDL grant or a stimulus check, but it does use the word direct payments, which is stimulus check language. So as you're now focused on that, then let me turn you to the big issue of unemployment benefits. When would your unemployment benefits lapse? When would they reactivate? How would they reactivate? What's going on? It's very complicated. No one is reporting it accurately in broadcast news. So let me explain to you what's happening. If this all becomes a law on Tuesday, then even if it became a law yesterday or the day before, you would never ever get paid your first week of unemployment benefits for the first week of January on time. You would not get paid your second week of January on time, or potentially even your third week of January on time. Why? Because this bill would have had to have been passed a month ago. State unemployment computers are old. They're running Windows 95 on a K-Pro. They're old. They're slow. And so it takes time for them to hear the law. It takes time for them to change the law in their old computers. It takes them time to receive the money from the federal government into their computers. It takes time to change your account from inactive to active. It takes time to send out the money. This is a slow process. In states like California, where they have modern computers and fast processes, when PUA went live on April 28th, I recorded the first video of this channel on April 25th. Our 8th month anniversary was on Christmas Day. I remember that California went live with PUA exactly that day because they had modern computer systems. Texas and Florida, horribly old computer systems. They took a month or more to pay a single penny to anyone because they just weren't ready to do these things. Now, some of the computer systems have been upgraded since then, but you're going to see a delay. So, what I need you to understand is the following. First, I need you to go to your state's unemployment website and look and see if there's a place to sign up for alerts, whether it's a text alert or email alert, so that you get alerts from your state unemployment's website when something happens. Second, I need you to check every week whether you can certify for benefits. Some states may not allow you to certify for benefits if you're now inactive. Other states may allow you to be certified, but say we can't pay you because the policies of the federal government have not been formulated. Other states may say, no, your profile is now inactive. Wait till we see something from the federal government. When you're able to certify for benefits for these first weeks of January and February, first weeks of January, second week of January, third weeks of January, you're not going to get paid on time, despite whatever's happening with the federal government. And so I want you to be prepared financially for the impact of that on you that first, second week, and third week of January. In states where modern computers exist, you will get paid about the middle of January to late January. In states with slower computers, you may get delayed upwards a month. Now, some states have done what's called extended weeks of benefits. That's extra weeks of benefits. So they are set up to protect you. You're not going to have the problem I just told you. Those states are states like Illinois, Hawaii, New York, New Jersey. They've said we're going to give you extra weeks of benefits. So you're not going from active to inactive. You're staying active. So you're protected. Ultimately, you need to stay in tune with your website of your state's unemployment department, because I expect more states to go from no extended benefits to extended benefits if this goes off the tracks in the next day or two. All right, with that, what's coming up next? Well, on Purple Power Live, I will be going, Purple coming up right after this, I will go over rent, utilities, and food you can get free right now. This is $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. Ultimately, this is the most important thing you should be getting today. Free rent, because ultimately, that first and second week of January is going to be tough. You're not going to get that unemployment check on time. The stimulus check may get delayed. And I want you to get this rent right now. This is $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. Then after that, I'm back with third stimulus check and third stimulus package. I will go over SSI and SSDI, multiple stimulus check, hazard pay, all those things you're wondering about and more. There's so much happening. It's a great afternoon. I thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me on live. And I'll next be live on Being a Mitch, which is after third stimulus check and third stimulus package. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay in that life from life.